My name is James Blackburn. I live and work in the American Southwest. As a result, I have the good fortune to be able to travel to a variety of beautiful locations. As a professional filmmaker, I document my life through video adventures and I share them with the world. Stay tuned as I travel through the world of movies and the beautiful outdoors. Thanks for watching the James Blackburn Experience.
Good howdy, folks. Welcome to another James Blackburn Experience. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Today's episode is called The Power of Fear, and you might wonder why. Allow me to explain. The power of fear can stop folks from living life to the fullest, including myself. Overcoming is a powerful thing, and can get folks back on track to living without letting fear control them. Don't get me wrong. We should still live life with caution and be careful at all times, but we shouldn't let fear stop us from doing what we need to do. There's a saying that I like. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's the willingness to act despite fear. I have had moments in life when things happened that had the potential of allowing me to let fear stop me from moving forward. 2 times I almost didn't make it out alive from the wilderness. And on both of these occasions, it was life-altering for me. So much so that I now appreciate everything a lot more. Life is indeed beautiful. Allow me to explain how I overcame a fear, and as a result, I've had some of the most amazing adventures since. Quick backstory. I have owned backpacking gear for over 20 years now. However, for several of those years, it was not used. And then, in 2017, I started backpacking again. It makes me happy to be able to backpack into the wilderness and spend a few days. It's an activity that feels like good medicine to me. However, there was an incident in the Gila wilderness that made me almost quit backpacking altogether. The power of fear nearly made me stop doing something I love. Let's go back in time to September 2018. Location: the Gila Wilderness in New Mexico. Activity: a backpacking adventure with my good friend, Royd. Incident in the Gila. It was supposed to be a 24-hour trip that turned into 3 days. We only had enough water for 24 hours, and I got heat exhaustion on day 1 and vomited. Then on day 2, I got heat stroke and got sick again. At one point, I was in terrible shape. Search and rescue told me later that they were coming to rescue my friend and to retrieve my corpse. It was that bad. I was near death and almost didn't make it out alive. The entire story will be told eventually, but not here and not now. While I was still on that trip, I swore to myself that I would never backpack or camp again. I almost let the power of fear stop me from living life to the fullest. I'm glad I overcame that fear, because some of the best trips I've ever done have happened since then. Here are a few of those adventures. Enjoy. Also, please stay tuned to the end, because I will have a special message to wrap it all up. Number 1. Beginnings. Sandia Mountains with my friend Curtis, October 2018. 4 weeks after the incident in the Gila, I went backpacking with a friend in the northern Sandia Mountains. It was a very healing trip for me. My first time back on the trail after almost dying, and my first time backpacking again. We had a great 24-hour trip out there, but my PTSD from the Gila incident was triggered 2 different times. Once on the hike in, and once when I woke up around 3 a.m. However, working through these moments helped me to heal and move forward so that I could put the power of fear behind me. We had a great campfire experience, and it snowed a little to add to the adventure. After that trip, I had the confidence to continue my adventures in the great outdoors.
It's a beautiful night out. We are sitting here with a nice little campfire, and it is really, really nice. It feels great. It's a little bit cold out, so the campfire is feeling particularly nice tonight. Just been a great day. There was some sprinkles and a little bit of snow earlier, but the sun's been coming out off and on. And now that the sun is set, obviously we're not going to see it again. But I do see the moon coming up behind the trees over here, and there are some blue skies still around us, so I'm expecting tonight that we're gonna definitely have some nice stars. I wish this camera would do better and we could show it to you guys.
My next trip was the longest I ever did, and it came about 1 year after the Gila incident. Number 2. October 2019. The Green River in Utah for 6 days and 5 nights of canoe camping with a group of 8 people, including myself and my brother Daniel. My brother drove out from Indiana, and we had a great adventure together on the Green River. Good canoeing, great hiking, and plenty of camping and yummy foods. The PTSD from the Gila incident was triggered again on this trip, but it only happened once, and with the help of my brother and my friend Matt, I was able to overcome that moment and move forward. The rest of my days on that trip were filled with fun adventures and plenty of great campfires too. It was another very healing trip for me.
We all grabbed our chairs and headed down the sandy beach next to the river for a hangout session. Nothing beats a nice day, good friends, a beautiful location, and great conversation.
All right, so we're here taking a little break. We found a nice camp spot in Southwest Backpacker. What do you think about the first day so far?
So far, so good. We got some good timing this morning, and we managed to get past Trent Alcove. It was taken, but we might be maybe a mile or less from that area. We got this wonderful beach spot right here, so I can't complain. I'm loving it.
All right, it's looking pretty awesome. Yeah. Terry, any thoughts?
Yeah, you know what? It's kind of the first time that we've ever been pushed out and haven't been able to make Trent Alcove. So part of me wants to be bummed, but this is amazing. And the temperature, oh, the temperature's perfect. So we're outside in the sun right now, but it's not baking.
It's not oppressive.
Yeah, it feels great. And this is going to be a good campsite.
All right. Daniel, any thoughts on your first time being here?
Purple Martians.
Martians.
All right, that's perfect. I love it.
Like in the sun.
It's awesome,
What was that
guys.
all about,
Really,
you know?
really loving it.
Number 3. 2020 Ojito Wilderness Backpacking. This was my 4th annual backpacking adventure to the Ojito Wilderness. The hike to the camp is only about a mile or so. It's a beautiful place, and we had a great campfire experience and some good chow too. This was my East Hills Outdoor Skyloft hammock. I slept very well that night. The weather was perfect, and the scenery was stunning. The Hoodoo Pines are a special place for me, and I'm glad to do a yearly trip here. This place is truly good medicine.
But it is.
Here's the guys.
But it is fun.
And Chip. Right, Chip? Thank you, gentlemen, for coming out today and being part of the Ojito annual trip.
Heck yeah, I'm glad we made it. Yep, thanks for having us.
So on the left is Matt, the Southwest Backpacker. In the middle is Canyon Man Raj. And to the right in the red shirt is Rick Earthplay. Check out all their YouTube channels. They got great content, and they're really good friends. So what do you say now? Take you over and show you where we're camping at for the night. You might recognize this spot from me being here 3 weeks ago and setting up the hammock in exactly the same spot. But here we go. This is camp for the next night.
Number 4. July 2020. Backpacking overnighter on the Sandia Crest Trail. This adventure was my idea, and I plan on doing it again in the near future. We hiked about 2 miles on the North Crest Trail to the overnight camp location. We were literally on the edge of a mountain, and we did not have a campfire, but we did have plenty of thunder and lightning throughout the night. This was a short but adventurous backpacking experience with good friends and beautiful views in every direction.
All right, folks, got the tent set up. Starting to get gear put into here. Had to kind of rush in here really fast though because it started raining outside, and it's kind of intense out there still. Let's take a look. There you go. Some rain coming in, nothing major, but beautiful day camping at 10,000 feet. All right, we have all our shelters up and in place, ready to go. There's mine. We got a couple of the other tents right over here. And Rick's got his hammock going up. Plus, we have one more tent back here in the back. And you can tell it is getting dark quick back here. Sun is setting. Rick's almost ready though. It was a little bit of a hike in here, man. I was a little beat getting here too. I think next time we'll car camp. How's that sound?
Number 5. October 2020, San Pedro Park's Wilderness. This adventure was 4 days and 3 nights, plus about 20 miles of hiking in total. We were here at the perfect time for the autumn colors on the aspen trees. This trip is a highlight for me for many reasons. First, I got to do this trip with 2 really good friends who also have YouTube channels, Matt, the Southwest Backpacker, and Ruben, the Manzano Man. Check out their channels for some great content. Second, backpacking here is all at a higher elevation, from about 8,500 to about 10,500 feet. That makes for some cooler nights, and a good campfire is much appreciated. We had a great campsite, and the campfire was amazing as always. This trip was a true gift. I will go back and do this one again eventually.
I was telling Matt earlier today, when people ask me, what's your favorite part of hiking and camping? And I say stopping. Because you do all that work so that you can have this moment right here, right now. We're standing around enjoying a campfire. We're not working hard. It's just that total relaxation sort of moment. So I love these sort of moments like this right now. So thank you guys.
Yeah, these are the best moments too often, man.
This is awesome.
It's a true gift.
Number 6. March 2021, Sabinoso Wilderness Backpacking. This was a quick trip with my good friend Dave. He heard about this place and suggested it. I'm glad he did. It ended up being a great hike and we found a nice campsite. We set up our tents and later we had a great campfire experience. This was a fun and easy trip and it's a wonderful memory. I think we were the only backpackers there at the time. It's amazing to have an entire wilderness almost to yourself. No crowds out here, just nature, and that's the way I like it. Peace and quiet are 2 of my favorite things, and there are plenty of both here.
All right, folks, wanted to show you what my dinner looks like once it's been rehydrated and still steaming hot. This is really good chicken and dumplings with vegetables, and of course I added a little bacon in there as well. Can't go wrong.
I sat down with my dinner and took a big sniff. It smelled absolutely delicious. This was gonna be very filling, and I was glad I brought this for dinner. Yummy! A little while later, the sun had set and darkness had taken over the landscape. We gathered around the campfire for added warmth as the temperature started to drop.
Number 7. May 2021, West Fork of the Rio Santa Barbara Backpacking, Pecos Wilderness. This was another great adventure with my friend Dave. It was also a place he shared with me. The hike in was beautiful and near water at times. Our campsite was top notch. I brought my tent and Dave brought his hammock. The site we found was amazing, and of course the campfire was too. I enjoyed this place and we even got a nice thunderstorm one day. I will go back and do this one again eventually.
There's a big elk up there eating. It doesn't see me. How cool is that for an early morning visitor? Usually when there's one, there's others. So I'm surprised I don't see any others nearby, but look at that. Beautiful. Hasn't seen me or smelled me yet.
Number 8. September 2021, Green River, 7 days and 6 nights of canoe camping. This was the return to the Green River for me, 2 years after the last trip with my brother. This time he couldn't make it, and I did 50 miles of solo canoeing on this one. It was a tough but rewarding trip. At age 50, I was proud of myself for paddling that many days and miles alone. The solo canoe parts of this trip were truly spiritual for me. I spent a lot of time alone on the river, but I didn't camp alone. I was there with 6 great friends, and we camped together every night. And of course, we had wonderful campfires and good food too. This was a truly special trip for me.
So after a somewhat windy day off and on, and about 10 miles on the river, I finally was getting closer to Ledge Camp. And here you can see the rest of my party is here unloading the boats, and I'm so glad to finally be here and take a break from paddling. So fast forward to a little while later, and we've got all the canoes unloaded, and we're taking in the view of this beautiful camp. Ledge Camp has been advertised as amazing, and I have to say, it absolutely lives up to that name. Amazing Ledge Camp. I'm just blown away by this entire experience, and now we're going to have a layover camp here. Awesome.
Number 9, 2022 Ojito Wilderness Backpacking. Returning here for my 6th annual backpacking overnighter. This time it was me and Dave. We had a nice hike in, and of course we passed the now famous wave area. I love the Ojito Wilderness, and doing annual overnight trips here is always awesome. Plus, it's only about a 45-minute drive from my home. I set up my tent here in the same spot every year. It's a nice spot with some soft sand, and it's fairly flat too. The highlight of this trip is always the campfire at the Hoodoo Pines area. What an amazing place.
All right, about half mile from the Hoodoo Pines. See that really tall pine tree right there about center frame? That is the Hoodoo Pines. We are currently way back here still, as you can see, at the area I call the Wave. Another beautiful spot. Highly recommend this hike. If you come out and do it, just make sure you bring all your own water. It's neat, huh? Yeah, this is always one of my favorite spots here. It's just so unique and different. Classic New Mexico blue skies today. Can't go wrong. Here at the Wave in the Ojito Wilderness. All right. Continuing the journey, we are gonna head back the other half mile to the Hoodoo Pine area, and if it's not taken by campers, we're gonna snag it. Stay tuned.
There are no fees here, and it's open year-round. Number 10, May 2023, Mora Flats Backpacking, Pecos Wilderness. This was another trip suggested by my friend Dave. He knows so many great spots, and I am thankful that he shares them with me. The backpacking is great. The trail was nice and easy to follow. Plus, we had some great weather on this one. We only had one thunderstorm, and that was at night, so we were in our shelters and stayed warm and dry. I knew this was going to be a great memory. The river nearby sounded wonderful, and there was already a campfire pit here and sitting logs. This was a peaceful trip. This is another trip that's on my list to go back and do again eventually.
Here I was having a peaceful moment, and not a city anywhere nearby. This was truly amazing, and I realized it even as I relaxed by the campfire. My brain face had a smile on it, and I was a very happy camper.
Number 11, October 2023, Green River, 7 days and 6 nights of canoe camping. Another adventurous river trip, but this time we were doing the lower part that goes through the Canyonlands National Park. This time I partnered up with my good friend Roger. Everything about this trip was amazing. The river miles passed as we canoed through red rock canyons full of beauty and wonder. We did have an incident on day 2 where our canoe flipped and I went into the water. My right shoulder dislocated. I almost drowned, but with the help of my friends, we recovered and continued on our trip for another 5 days. I learned a valuable lesson that day, and that was this. I will always wear a life preserver when I'm on the water from now on. If I were wearing it when the canoe flipped that day, it would have made everything a lot more manageable and safe. Lesson learned. This was a truly big adventure, and we even got to hike into Jasper Canyon, and that was also a very special day. Plus, when we had a layover day, we would hike and explore. One day we saw petroglyphs, and on another day we saw ancient ruins. The Green River holds a special place in my heart and will always be a part of me. Soon we arrived at a place Matt calls the Hobbit Holes. This place was neat. Years of water dripping from the top created all these holes in the rock. It made for a wonderful and beautiful artwork. Plus, it was in the shade and the air was nice and cool. Perfect place and time to hang out and relax. I wish I could describe what it's like to visit a place like this, but words can't do it justice. You have to come here for yourself and experience it firsthand. Then you'll know what I mean.
I've only seen videos and photos of this place, and all of them are awesome, but here in person, even better. This is really neat, Matt. Thank you for bringing me here.
Number 12. April 2024, Bisti Badlands backpacking. This trip was an overnighter with friends, and instead of a backpack, I used my Hipstar hiking trailer to transport my gear. It worked great, and we found a great campsite for the night. After we set up camp, we explored the Badlands and found many unusual rock formations and petrified trees. This place was truly otherworldly, and I'd love staying the night here with good friends. No campfires allowed here, so we all went to sleep early and got a great night's rest. The next day, we hiked to a rock formation called the Alien Throne, and saw many other interesting rock formations along the way. This is definitely on my list to go back and explore more in the near future.
All right, folks, some places along the way are a little rough going, but my Hipstar has brakes on it, and that helps out a lot when you're going downhill or when you're going uphill too. So far so good. This has been a fun little beginning of the trip. We'll be at base camp here in a little while, and looking forward to just being here for a couple of days. It's like being on another planet. I mean, it literally looks like Mars out here. All right, there's one heck of a campsite set up and ready to go.
Number 13. May 2024, Ojito Wilderness Backpacking. This was my 8th annual overnighter here, and what a better person to camp with than my friend Matt, the Southwest Backpacker. My first time camping here was with him back in 2017, and to have him here again with me felt like I had come full circle. Good friends in the wilderness are always a wonderful thing. We had good dinners, and of course, another great campfire experience at the Hoodoo Pines area. This was my 8th year here, but it won't be my last. I'm planning on continuing this tradition for years to come. The Ojito Wilderness is in my blood, and I'm glad I have the opportunity to travel here. All right, folks, that was a great day. I always say that going to the wilderness is good medicine, and it feels like that right now. I mean, we're only going to spend about 24 hours here, but the hiking, the camaraderie with my good friend Matt, the Southwest backpacker, and some good food, and of course, campfire experience. You can't go wrong with that. It's a really starry night out tonight. It's super clear. We got a lot of great shots of the sky and the surrounding area. It's been a really fun time. I think I'm going to wrap it up here and head toward the bed soon. Matt's already headed down to his tent, and I'm not even sure what time it is. It's probably a little after 10. But I'm enjoying the last of this fire. But I'm going to bid you all a good night here. Summary. I count close to 30 amazing trips since the Gila incident back in September 2018. I couldn't share them all with you. I only showed you a few of them here, but they were all amazing and they were all beautiful places to visit. None of these would have happened if I let the power of fear stop me from experiencing life. Don't get me wrong, I'm not happy that I almost died in the wilderness on 2 different occasions, but I will say that I appreciate life more after these experiences. My message is this: don't let fear hold you back. Get out in the world and enjoy some awesome experiences when you can. Be safe out there and enjoy. Life is beautiful if you know where to look, so keep your eyes, mind, and heart open. It just might lead you someplace special. I am truly fortunate to have a wonderful community around me and that the wilderness is never far away. Between my love for family and friends and my love of the great outdoors, I really do have an awesome life. Thank you to all the good people and places in my life. And know this, I plan on continuing to live life and not let fear stop me. You should do the same when you can. And if you ever hear I died in the wilderness, know that I was probably at peace when it happened, and celebrate my life. Don't be sad. I've had a great life with almost no regrets. Let's celebrate this gift we call life. Look around and see the beauty and wonder of it all. Remember, folks, love, love, hate, hate. Take care of each other.